Okay, so today I've got a Megger RCD tester. So Megger make test instruments, a lot of them for electrical systems, electrical test instruments and so on. Like multimeters and, well, not so much multimeters, but insulation testers, fault location, things for electrical distribution networks and that type of thing, and installation testers as well. So this one's an RCD tester. So an RCD is a residual current device. Essentially it looks to see what's going out the live and back through the neutral is the same in terms of current. And if there's a difference of more than, say, 30 or 100 milliamps, then it will actually trip the circuit breaker and switch the power off, because there's some of the current is leaking somewhere, perhaps through a person that's touching something that's live, and that's pulling some of the current away to ground. So more than 30 milliamps of that and the RCD will trip out. So this tests the RCDs. It has a couple of connections here. So typically it has it has two connections. I believe one of them goes to the live feed that's coming, and then the other one down to the earth. And the idea here is that it can apply a current flowing from the live to the earth and trip out the RCD. And it can do a whole bunch of things while it's doing that. So let's have a look inside here. So there's some tests here. You can see there's a nice little chart of different tests and so on that you can do. So first of all, what do these allow us to choose? Well, this one is the RCD rating. This is the amount of current that's flowing that will cause the RCD to trip. So I mentioned a 30 milliamps and 100 milliamps. So there's also a 300 and a 500 milliamp setting. So we can choose here the size of the RCD that we want to test. So I think normal domestic properties could be 30 or 100. I'll need to check. Maybe it's 30 for outdoor stuff, or maybe 100 for outdoor stuff and 30 for indoors. Just need to double check that. But these are the typical ones that you would see in domestic properties. I haven't come across the 300 or 500, but I'll have a look at that later on. So I'm assuming here the V allows us to take a voltage reading on the screen, and then the test that we're going to run is a half I. So this will be the I here. So if it was, say, at 30 milliamps, a half will be 15 milliamps. I will be at 30 milliamps and then 5 times that, so 1.5 amps in this case. So, no, sorry, that's totally wrong. 5 of the 30, so 3 5s are 15, so it'll be 150 milliamps. Sorry for my poor mental maths there. Got it totally wrong. So, as Dave Jones would say, there's the instruction manual for all you test aficionados out there, or for those playing along at home. So these show some of the tests and so on that are on there. I'll have a look at some of the details later. This unit actually not working, so we're going to do a bit of a teardown and see if we can get it to power on. Obviously, when I select this, it's out of the off position, and we should have something on here. I don't know what's wrong with it. I did take the battery cover off earlier on just to have a quick peek to see if there was goop all over the place. I think there's a little bit of goop, but not too much. So remove the test leads before removing the battery cover. That won't be a problem because it wasn't supplied with any test leads. So I don't actually have, well, I have leads that I'll be able to connect up later on and show you this thing working, if we can get it to work. Nice little meter that I got from eBay, or a little tester I got from eBay. So let's see if we can get this thing working. First thing is to open it up. So I'll just get this screw out of the back of her, and we will pop the battery cover. Let's have a look inside. So yeah, you can see there's some gunk there. A battery has spilt its guts in there before. And in fact, this doesn't look too bad. I don't know if somebody else has been here and cleaned this up a little bit before I've got here. But if we look at these contacts, oh goodness, those are horrible. Let's see if we can zoom down on those a little bit and see what they... yeah, there's corrosion and stuff on those. I don't know if those have been wiped before or what. Yeah, those aren't great. And then on this side we have, yeah, something similar. I mean, these here are horrible. This thing takes quite a few batteries as well. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 1.5 amp, or sorry, 1.5 volt AA type batteries. So I have a bunch of batteries here in my Battery Daddy, that's seriously the name of it, Battery Daddy caddy thing. That's this boy here, Battery Daddy. Got this in Costco's. It's great. Instead of having a drawer with a load of batteries floating about in it, you always have a bunch of batteries at the ready. So I've got any weight of AA's here, so I'll have batteries to try it out. I don't have any C or D batteries in here. I've got the odd PP3 for some of my multimeters, although I've found more and more multimeters taking AA or AA's as well. So anyway, we have some batteries that we can put into this, but first of all, I think what we want to do is clean the contacts. So I'm going to go and have a knock this camera about a bit. I'm going to go and have a look for something to do a little bit of cleaning with, some tools here. So yeah, there's a wee set of files actually. Might be interesting, in a pair of tweezers with a wrecked nose that I might use for doing a bit of scraping. I think these things are nickel plated, so I probably don't want to do too much scraping. Don't want to be too abusive with the thing, but sure, we'll have a look. All right, back again. Let's get at it. So, I mean, this is just a quick test to see if we get the thing to power on at all. So I'm just going to tidy these up a little bit. Zoom down in there so you can see what I'm at. So I'm just cleaning these up a slight tad so that we can, yeah, I mean, they don't look great, do they? So obviously this is one end, the positive end. This is in series here to this, and this in series to that row, in series here, and then back again. So really what I could do is check the voltage, the positive and the negative voltage here, just to see if these are making a half decent connection at all. But anyway, we'll clean these up a little bit. I've seen much worse. I mean, these aren't too bad. They're not ideal, but they're. We'll come back to these later on. I just want to have a quick check to see how we're doing. Ooh, yeah, this one here is not so great. This one's a lot worse. So let's see if I just, yeah, that's not so good. Let's try these wee bad boys. No, right, get a file out. Let's see if we can select something relatively flat.